significant challenge this is. We've been working to get this right across government and with airport operators, passenger carriers and operational partners, including Border Force and the police. I want to thank them all for their work so far. And we've been taking Australian colleagues, both the ministerial authorities on quarantine, the mines and ports, and I'm grateful for working so closely with us. You have such an important role to play in protecting this country and putting in place a system so we can securely restart travel when the time is right. The whole team at the borders working together. Mr. Speaker, let me set out the three elements of the strengthened end-to-end system for international arrivals coming into force on 15th of February. This new system is for England, and we're working on similarly tough schemes with the devolved administrations and working with the Irish government to put in place a system that works across the common travel area. The three parts are as follows: hotel quarantine, testing and enforcement. First, Mr. Speaker, we're setting up a new system of hotel quarantine for UK and Irish residents who've been in red list countries in the last 10 days. In short, this means that any returning residents from these countries will have to quarantine in an assigned hotel room for 10 days from the time of arrival. Before they travel, they'll have to book through an online platform and pay for a quarantine package costing £1,750 for an individual travelling alone, which includes the hotel, transport and testing. This booking system will go live on Thursday, when we'll also publish the full detailed guidance. Passengers will only be able to enter the UK through a small number of ports that currently account for the vast majority of passenger arrivals. When they arrive, they'll be escorted to a designated hotel, which will be closed to guests who aren't quarantining for 10 days or for longer if they test positive for COVID-19 during their stay. We've contracted 16 hotels for an initial 4,600 rooms, and we will secure more as they're needed. People will need to remain in their rooms and of course will not be allowed to mix with other guests, and there'll be visible security in place to ensure compliance alongside necessary support, so even as we protect public health, we can look after the people in our care. Second, Mr. Speaker, we're strengthening testing. All passengers are already required to take a pre-departure test and cannot travel to this country if it is positive. From Monday, all international arrivals, whether under home quarantine or hotel quarantine, will be required by law to take further PCR tests on day 2 and day 8 of that quarantine. Passengers will have to book these tests through our online portal before they travel. Anyone planning to travel to the UK from Monday needs to book these tests, and the online portal will go live on Thursday. If either of these post-arrival tests comes back positive, they'll have to quarantine for a further 10 days from the date of the test, and will of course be offered any NHS treatment that's necessary. Any positive result will automatically undergo genomic sequencing to confirm whether they have a variant of concern. Under home quarantining, the existing test-to-release scheme, which my right honourable friend, the Transport Secretary, has built so effectively, can still be used from day 5, but this will be in addition to the 2 mandatory tests. The combination of enhanced testing and sequencing has been a powerful weapon through this pandemic, and we'll be bringing it to bear so we can find positive cases, break the chains of transmission, and prevent new cases and new variants from putting us at risk. Third, Mr. Speaker, this new system, both home quarantine and hotel quarantine, rules are putting us all at risk. To make sure that passengers have signed up for these new arrangements before they travel and will be fined if they don't. And we'll be putting in place tough fines for people who don't comply. This includes a £1,000 penalty for any international arrival who fails to take a mandatory test, a £2,000 penalty to any international arrival who fails to take the second mandatory test, as well as automatically extending their quarantine period to 14 days, and a £5,000 fixed penalty notice, rising to £10,000 for arrivals who fail to quarantine in a designated hotel. We're also coming down hard on people who provide false information on the passenger locator form. anyone who lies on the passenger locator form and tries to conceal that they've been in a country on the red list in the 10 days before arrival here will face a prison sentence of up to 10 years. These measures will be put into law this week, and I've been working with the Home Secretary, the Border Force and the police to make sure that more resources are being put into enforcing these measures. I make no apologies for the strength of these measures, because we're dealing with one of the strongest threats to our public health that we've faced as a nation. I know that most people have been doing their bit, making huge sacrifices as part of the national effort, and these new enforcement powers will make sure their hard work and sacrifice isn't undermined by a small minority who don't want to follow the rules. Mr. Speaker, in short, we're strengthening the health protection at the border in 3 crucial ways. Hotel quarantine for UK and Irish residents who visited a rest days deemed for all passengers from any other country. A 3-test regime for all arrivals, and firm enforcement of pre-departure tests and the passenger locator form. Our fight against this virus has many fronts, and just as we're attacking this virus through our vaccination program, which is protecting more people each day, we're buttressing our defences against these vital measures so we can protect the progress that we've worked together so hard to accomplish. And I commend this statement to the House. I'm now going to call
Shadow Secretary Jonathan Ashworth will now respond to that, and if he says anything of particular interest or importance, we will of course report it to you. But I'm cautiously, listen to the same words you listen to. I don't have any special insight. If that happens, what he's just described, I think we put it under better late than never, don't we? Rather than too little, too late. Everyone in the studio's eyebrows shot up when he said 10-year prison sentences, but that's what should have been in place since March. And that's, yes, that is a criticism, but it's not a catch-all criticism. That sounded finally like a pretty clear strategy, no? Well, I thought so anyway, but give it 10 minutes and the moment might have passed.
Coming up at 1 on LBC, Tom Swarbrick.
2 tests required for anyone coming back into the country now as Matt Hancock, the Health Secretary in the House of Commons, tries to settle the issues on the border. Will the measures work?
Tom Swarbrick on LBC.
Divorce can be expensive. It affects your finances, assets, home, savings, pension, and most of all, your relationship with your children. It's probably one of the toughest times of your life to deal with, compounded by the effects of a global pandemic and a new normal. Cordell & Cordell understand these issues and help men located in Canary Wharf, Watford and Central London. CordellCordell.co.uk, a partner men can count on.
Growing a small business is a challenge. Whether you sell healthy gourmet sandwiches or vintage t-shirts for every occasion, Square has made it easy to sell anywhere with tools like an online store with pickup, delivery and shipping, and contactless hardware for taking payments in person, so you can open up more ways of reaching customers and getting paid. Learn more at square.com/UK. Square Up Europe Limited is regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. Terms and apply.
Running a successful business comes with many different challenges, but right now the need for good business advice is more important than ever. At Barnes Rofe Accountants, we're helping our clients adapt their business strategies by looking at the best ways to cope with both the immediate and long-term impact of COVID-19. About how we can support you and your business, please visit barnesrofe.com. Barnes Rofe, clever accountants for business.
If you're an EU citizen and were living in the UK by 31st of December 2020, you must apply for the settlement scheme. If you miss the deadline, you could lose your existing rights to live and work in the UK. You still need to apply even if you have permanent residence. The deadline is 30th of June 2021. Don't wait any longer. Visit gov.uk/EU settlement scheme and get started today. Irish citizens or those with valid indefinite leave don't need to apply.
Hello, I'm Vicky Butler-Henderson, racing driver and motoring journalist, and I'm passionate about empowering consumers. If you currently own or have owned a Mercedes diesel vehicle made between 2009 and 2018, you might be eligible for thousands of pounds in compensation due to their alleged use of emissions controlling devices. To join the claim and find out if you qualify, Visit mercedes-emissionsclaim.co.uk or text JOIN to 85222.
At Morrison's, celebrate Valentine's Day with award-winning Sorso Prosecco for $4.99, Cadbury Milk Tray for £3 and Ferrero Rocher for £5. Morrison's, making it with love. Majority of stores and online, subject to availability. Milk Tray 360 grams, Ferrero Rocher 300 grams was £6, ends 14th of February. Sorso Prosecco 75 centilitre ends 16th of February. Please drink responsibly.
At Vodafone, we know how important it is to keep connecting. Whether you're working from your back bedroom or keeping the kids on top of chemistry, it's now more crucial than ever to have a reliable broadband connection. So, switch to Vodafone Superfast Broadband to get average download speeds of 63 megabits per second for just £22.95 a month. Available online today. Ready? Vodafone.
Offer ends 4th of March. 24-month contract, credit check, acceptance, terms and CPI plus 3.9% annual price rise apply. Vodafone.co.uk/broadband.
Introducing PokerStars Casino. Bright lights, high pulses, hearts racing, wheels spinning. In. The roulette ball clicks and comes to a stop on the date of your mother's birth. Award-winning PokerStars Casino. Infinite outcomes. One thing to say. I'm in. Join PokerStars Casino and play. 18 plus begambleaware.org. Please play responsibly.
Leading Britain's conversation. LBC with James O'Brien.
12:50 is the time. You're listening to James O'Brien on LBC, where we'll have a quick chat with Theo about what we just heard in the House of Commons, including perhaps a nod to what Jonathan Ashworth is still in the process of saying. There is, I understand, some tension when we take the government's announcement and not the opposition's response, but there's a difference here because it's a government announcement. So Matt Hancock is announcing things that are going to change our daily lives or change the ingress into this country. So it's different from normal politics, if you like, where